So let's have a look at the tarot messages from the 11th of November, the week ahead. What do we all need to know? So the first aspect that we can see with the King of Wands energy is a great time to own who we are. Find that passion again, that inspiration. For others, the fire element is going to be really important to really get us into that yang energy, the strength, owning who we are. So there's no point in sitting back with our goals of going forwards. This is a time to really realise that we are responsible for our heart, our mind and our journeys. Also, when we see the devil, we can see how important the King of Wands was in moving out of a situation. Some things are toxic, and whether they be habits or people or jobs or all sorts of situations, we need to own who we are and be responsible for our own participation in these things. So whether it's having a participation in remaining in a situation where we need to get out of and really control who we are with the King of Wands, then we'll always be in this situation of being the victim and not the survivor. Also, with the Five of Cups, disappointment, sadness is around, and you can see how the devil is keeping us back, or the devil energy, we should say, in the traps of disappointment and sadness. So when we focus on that and become the victim in a circumstance, individualistic to yourself, then we need to realise that our attitude towards things is how our reality is prescribed or written. So the Five of Cups is always about the things that are better around the corner. So when we look up and realise that things happen, we have a roller coaster of life, and that is our learning curve. But what we do need to learn is stop focusing on negativity and disappointments in our life and go, right, I am the King of Wands. I do own my own energy and passion and responsibilities. With the Knight of Wands, this is beginning to take action towards something new. So moving away from sadness and disappointment and keeping it there within our psyche or within our auras is not a good thing now. This is about moving ahead with passion, owning your life and really taking action towards it. So sometimes the King energy can just sit on our throne and do nothing, whereas the Knight has to go about to do things. So to do things is to break away from the old and move forwards. And here when we have the Seven of Pentacles here, this is a real good thing to really aspire. We have Tiwaz here, and this is all about moving forward, moving upwards. So having patience and having the wisdom to set about that is always a good thing to do. So when we weed out what we don't want, we've already know that it's having that sadness, disappointment and staying stagnant in that. So when we nourish who we are as people and take that appropriate action, things do change. And when we have the Nine of Wands, we always come about, oh, hold on a minute, am I moving too fast? Am I moving in a direction that I feel uncomfortable with? Yes, you are. Because being stagnant and having the habit of putting up with attitudes of that pain and having the habit of being the victim is always going to be challenging. So when the Nine of Wands comes this particular week, it is always seeing what we are communicating to ourselves about that. Have you been trained that you're not good enough? Have you been trained that you don't value yourself? All these things can be very challenging when we have heard these comments from our loved ones, etc. So this is a challenge to say, I am brave. I am the King of Wands energy. I put in my own passion to go forward, even when things have been difficult. And you see with the Knight of Cups, things are getting better. This is a perfect time for new romances, new relationships, new ways of thinking and understanding who you are. So when this comes, being too idealistic about things can be a good thing. It can have that fantasy to get you out of a situation. So stagnation is never a good thing. And having a newness, having a new spark, having a new passion is always going to bring out something better within your life. So this is a great time to give the gift of joy, happiness and peace and love into your life moving forward. And moving forward, we do have to do. Enjoy the week.